So these are some of the common wedding concerns. So, I say this all the time. I understand. I understand that weddings are freaking stressful, or planning and all of it. I know that it's not an easy process. I mean, it's very complex. I mean, you've got a lot of different things going on, a lot of different things you have to decide on. It can be very overwhelming. There's a lot of money involved in it. Most people planning a wedding have never planned a wedding before. They maybe have only been to a few weddings. And there's just so many freaking options out there. It's just, it's just like, I don't know what to do. So, guys, I understand. I understand that you may be stressed. I understand that you have concerns. You're worried about things. That is perfectly normal. If you are freaking out, do not feel like you're the only one, because everyone freaks out a little bit about their wedding. So these are the things I'm going to be covering. These are probably the big concerns that, again, I see quite a bit. So money, knowing what to do, schedule, looking good in photos, pleasing everyone, bad weather, or something going wrong. And not necessarily in that order. They're actually in a different order when I talk about them. But again, guys, if you have something that's not on this list, comment below and I will get to it. All right. So honestly, I think this is the biggest concern most people have. I mean, I hear this so much. I mean, I've yet to work with a millionaire that I know of. And so everyone's got some concerns about money. So, some people, like, their first concern might be how big should my budget be? How big should my budget be? Should I be spending, should I set aside this amount of money? Should I set aside that amount of money? And then once they have that budget, they're like, okay, now how much should I spend on the venue? How much should I spend on flowers? How much should I spend on catering? And those are tough questions. And a lot of the times, the biggest issue with money that we all kind of run into, and this is just life, guys, this is just life, is we don't have enough money. Okay, there's plenty of things I would buy if I just had unlimited money. I mean, camera stuff is so expensive. I'd buy so much more. So I think that's some of the common things. Now, here are some of the things that I suggest you can do to deal with that. First of all, get realistic numbers before picking, before deciding on your overall budget. Go through all the things and be like, okay, this is what I will have to spend realistically on a venue. This is what I have to spend realistically on that. Guys, I see people very often, at least in the photographer side, people come in with very unrealistic numbers. I see people posting in these groups like, okay, I need a photographer. I would like to spend under $500. I mean, I guess you can find a photographer for under $500, but I mean, it's just not good. Okay, so get some realistic numbers before you do anything else. Okay, and that's going to vary depending on where you live. Okay, here versus New York, it's going to be very different. All right, so once you have that kind of realistic number, I would suggest you decide on what's really important to you and you put your biggest chunk of your budget towards the things that are most important. And then go lower on your list of importance and don't spend as much money on stuff you don't care about. Another little fun tip that I've talked about before is, people are going to buy you gifts and they may buy you crap you don't want. So you can always, there's different ways of doing it, but get people to pay for part of your wedding. Have them contribute $200 towards a photo booth versus buying you pots and pans. Okay? Not everyone is okay with asking people to do that, but it is a possibility. I have seen it work for some people. Okay. Oh, one other thing about money. So I hate beating this stuff into your head or whatever. But in general, guys, you get what you pay for. So I'm on my new laptop that just cost me like $1,500. And today I opened up my old laptop, which is like 8 years old or something. And I almost lost my mind because it was so slow and so annoying. I wanted to bash it into the ground. So I am so happy that I spent the $1,500 to get this new laptop, because the other one was not functioning. It makes me angry. It's slow. So just keep that in mind when you talk about money, is you're going to get what you pay for. All right. So pleasing everyone, everyone has opinions. You need to wear a veil. You need to put a tiara in your hair. You need to serve only vegan food. Blah 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 blah. Everyone has opinions on things, and they're all going to give them to you. I mean, most people are very open about what they think should and shouldn't happen at weddings. You don't want to upset those important people. The important people, like your closest family and friends, it's good not to upset them. And you want people to have a good time. So, I mean, you want to please everybody. You want to, but that is very difficult and hard. So let's talk about some ways that you can, navigate pleasing everyone. So first of all, I suggest, it's okay to listen to people. I mean, there's nothing wrong with listening to people, but that doesn't mean you have to do what they say. Okay. But when you just ignore people and tell them to shut up, that's going to make them upset. So at least listening to them and considering the idea is a good idea. Focus on the people that are most important to you, like, listening to your parents. Okay, those are people you probably don't want to really upset. Your brothers, your sisters, grandparents, the people that are closest to you. But that crazy aunt that you've seen once in your life, who cares what she says and if you upset her? After you talk to these people that are most important to you, if you have to, make a compromise somehow. So going back to the veil thing, I mean, I've had that situation before where the mother really wanted her to wear a veil. She did not. So she wore the veil only for the ceremony, and the rest of the time it was gone. Okay. Now, in the very end, after you've listened, you compromised, you have to remember it comes down just the two of you, and this is your day. So make the decision that is best for you. Okay. Knowing what to do. You have to make a lot of decisions in planning a wedding. A lot of decisions. I mean, like 100 decisions. And there's so many things you can do out there. You see, I mean, if you go look on Pinterest, if you go look in bridal magazines, you'll see like 5 million different ways you can do your weddings. I mean, there's all these colors, themes, things that you can have there. Like random things I wrote down, like, do I want a DJ? Do I want a band? Do I want to do outdoor? Do I want to do indoor? Do I want to do a buffet? Buffets are a little harder to do these days, but so all these options, there's just so much stuff to do and you don't know what to do. Okay. So start off doing research. Okay. Just look at all the crap, go look at the magazines, look at the Pinterest and see what you actually like. Okay. It doesn't matter if it's popular. That's not what this is about. It's about what you like. Talk to people that have recently had weddings. Okay, what worked really well for you? What was a waste of time and money? What do you wish you had done that you didn't do? Okay, and if all of this is just too overwhelming, hire yourself a professional planner. They will take care of like almost all of the stuff for you, or at least minimize the decisions that you have to make. Oh, bad weather. Right now it's like in between, like, it's getting cold, but I kind of like it. But, in a few months, it's going to be freezing and not very pleasant outside. So people worry about the extreme temperatures. Is it going to be what if it's too hot on the wedding day? What if it's too cold on the wedding day? What if it's really windy? What if it's raining? What if it's snowing? And that freaks people out. People want their guests to be able to go outside. They want to be able to do photos outside. And my dog is barking, and now someone's calling me. Sweet. Wonderful. Let's see if I can go back to what I was doing while getting a phone call. This is live, baby. Real life. Tell my wife I'm doing a video. Telling her I can't talk right now because you guys are that important to me. Oh my gosh, this is going to take forever. Doing video. All right. Yeah, so it's really hard to do photos outside when there's a crazy wind, rain, snowstorm, whatever. So people are concerned about this stuff. The tips I would give you is, you can't control it, but you can always prepare for it. I mean, we can't stop the weather from being the weather. It's a good idea to have indoor and outdoor options. So, you want the outdoor ceremony, but if it rains, you can move indoor. So, we were talking about bad weather. So, one of the things to do is, pick a date that is going to be safer for the weather. So if you pick December, it's going to be cold. If you pick August, it's going to be hot. Okay, schedule, fitting everything in, having enough hours to do all the things you want to do. People are worried about, okay, when do I do things? Do I do this first? Do I do that? Keeping everything on time and not falling behind and missing something important. So as far as making a schedule, if you're going to do it on your own, list all the things that you want to happen, estimate how much time each will need, and that will kind of help you figure out the order of things. And then you put it in a logical order, so you can't do something before you get in your dress. Now, the easiest thing, and what I do, is I make schedules for my couples. If you hire a planner, they can make a schedule for you. So again, that's an easier way to get it done so you're not having to do it all on your own. Okay. A lot of stuff can go wrong at your wedding, and there's a lot of things for you to keep track of. Like, did I forget this? Does that need to go here? Did that show up on time? Like some people might freak out about having the wrong music as they're walking down the aisle, or something is not there, or their hair gets messed up, their makeup gets messed up. So again, planning it first is the big thing. Hiring good vendors that are going to take care of you is also a good thing. If you hire a non-professional, something could go wrong. Okay, and my biggest advice for this is something is going to go wrong, so don't just freak out if it's something tiny. The day is still going to go on, so just kind of relax and let it happen. All right, and the last thing I got for you guys, people worry about how they're going to look good in photos. They don't know how to pose. They don't know how to do anything with their hands. They're worried about double chins. They're worried about big arms, big hips. They want to look real. They want to look happy. They don't want to have fake smiles. They want beautiful backgrounds. So, some quick tips for all of these stuff. So, as far as your body position, it's never good to stand straight up. So, shift your weight onto one foot versus the other. Make sure your arms are never pinched against your side, because that will make them look bigger. Don't squish your chin down. If you two can interact and crack jokes, that's going to make you laugh. If you're not good at jokes, if you just start fake laughing, you will start real laughing pretty quickly. And as far as the real smiles, just be in the moment. Think about what's happening, and that's going to make you smile. For locations, find shade. That usually helps. Or put the sun behind you. That's a big one. Now, the easy route for all of this is hire a good photographer that can do all these things for you, so you don't have to worry about it. All right, so my last tips on this stuff, guys. Preparing is big. Do as much on the front end as possible. Hiring good vendors so you'll be taken care of. They're professionals. It is stressful, but try and enjoy the process. Enjoy going and picking out things and, doing things with your family and friends. Make sure you give yourself enough time to plan all this, okay? Don't try and plan a whole wedding in 2 weeks. That's difficult. In the end, focus on what matters, and that is you guys getting married. As long as that happens, then everything will be okay. So again, guys, if you have other things you want me to talk about, other things that you are concerned about that worry you, comment and I will take care of it. I'm sorry I had to break this up into 2 videos. But I will be back with more stuff. And if you guys need anything, always send me a message. See you later.